Today's episode of Business Builders features River Life, a business based on the banks of the Brisbane River. The episode was shot prior to the recent floods, but we're pleased to report River Life was fully back in business a mere 4 days after the flood. So if you're in Brisbane, go down and show them your support.
Hello and welcome to the program. Today we're visiting an outdoor adventure company in Brisbane and it's owned by John Sharp. G'day John. Now tell us about River Life.
Well David, we started River Life about 6 years ago because we saw an opportunity to bring adventure and recreation down to the banks of the Brisbane River.
And what do you offer?
At the moment we offer things like rollerblading, mountain biking, rock climbing, abseiling, and of course there's paddling with adventures and barbecues mixed together.
Great for individuals, great for corporates. You've had tremendous success. What are your issues?
Look, we've grown very, very rapidly and the issues stem around having the right workforce, keeping them engaged and also keeping that high level of customer service.
That's a problem with a high growth company, isn't it? That you bring on new staff that all have to be of a high standard to keep going. Look, I reckon we can help you out with a couple of terrific experts. Janine Ellis from Boost Juice, wonderful lady, great company, had to cope with enormous growth and staff that growth as well. And Naomi Simpson from Red Balloon will have some terrific tips to help you out. You happy with that?
Oh, that would be absolutely fantastic, David.
Oh, I'm glad we avoided that ferry. Let's keep going, I think.
Okay,
they can wait.
Red Balloon sells experience vouchers and is one of Australia's most successful online businesses. John is meeting Red Balloon founder Naomi Simpson to find out her secrets for successful customer service and employee engagement.
When you become a leader of an organisation, you all of a sudden realise all the things you don't know. And you've got to learn, you know, as much as possible about, oh, well, how do other people do that? So as I started to read, I discovered that those organisations who have a highly engaged workforce also have really high customer satisfaction. And, you know, I didn't have 2 cents to rub together, you know, it was poor as a church mouse. So the first person I employed, very, very important that that person was going to really enjoy what they did, be really great at it and highly engaged. And just by definition, those people who are engaged love what they do. They really enjoy what they do. Those people who are just not engaged are kind of sleepwalking. They just go to work, 9 to 5, do what they're told and don't really think about it. But those people who are actively disengaged, these are people that you're paying and they hate you. Like they hate you. Every day they think about, oh, what can I do to upset my co-workers? And it takes 6 engaged employees to fix up the mess of the disengaged employees. And in my organisation, I just thought, look, this is really silly. So I did all this reading and ended up writing it in a book because I found it so fascinating, which is this little red book. So why should employee engagement be a strategic priority? Well, according to Gallup, those organisations who see employee engagement as strategically important have 27% higher profits, 50% higher sales, 50% higher customer loyalty and 38% above average productivity. It just makes commercial sense. It makes commercial sense to have a fabulously engaged workforce, and it's really, really worked for Red Balloon. You know, I think one of the greatest moments in my career was being acknowledged by Hewitt as one of the best places to work in Australia last year. And the other winners were all like IBM and Microsoft and these massive organisations, and there's little old us, you know. So it's not about you know, I don't have the resources of those big companies, but it is about my absolute focus is making sure I'm here to serve my team. And my very simple rule of engagement: do I know what I'm here to do? Did anybody notice? And do I go home feeling like a winner? And if you can answer yes to that, you'll probably show up again.
Wow, that's fabulous. And look, are there things that identify people as they're starting to disengage, or is it something that happens all of a sudden?
Look, look, why do people engage with an organisation? There's really three reasons. One is the logical connection. That is, did we fulfil on our promise as we're bringing people into the organisation? And a third of people will choose in their first month of employment when they're going to leave. A third. So you've done all this time to get them on board, to train them and develop them, and they're already mentally out of there. So you've got to fulfil on what you promised people. So really setting the expectations when you're recruiting people. Like, we're pretty straight up with people. You won't get an office, there won't be a car space, and it would be kind of chaotic. It's only going to suit some people to work at a place like Red Balloon. But we've got to be really clear. But we've also got to make sure that we have the obvious things, which is, do we have job descriptions? Do we have career development plans? Do we have, growth and performance for health and safety? These are absolutely essentials. You cannot run a business without all of the HR things. And people will tick the list, have you got this for me? Leave policies, all of those sorts of things. So then the second part is the emotional connection. Do I believe in this organisation? Do I trust them? Am I proud to work here? And it's really, really important. So that is believing in the vision. I will emotionally connect to an organisation if I believe what I'm doing every day. So often we'll look at people and people go, oh gosh, you're also young, they're also Generation Y. Well, I'd say I'm the biggest Generation Y of all of them, which is WHY. Why do I do what I do? And if people know why they do what they do, they can see their contribution, they know that they're recognised for it, they feel fabulous about what they contribute, they're going to have an emotional connection to their organisation. And the third part of that is the brand connection. So long gone are the days where people believe advertising, Of course, if I'm buying an ad, I'm going to say something fabulous about myself. So advertising has a role of reminding people about the relationship they have with a brand. But really, it's the authentic conversations that your people will have about your business that holds so much more weight than anything you can do publicly.
After the break, great ideas for motivating staff.
Incentive is a very old way of thinking that's like a carrot and a stick.
This business travel tip is brought to you by Qantas. Don't like the stress of airport traffic and parking? Let Qantas take the stress away with a chauffeured transfer from your door. As the owner of River Life and Tangma Tours, John is keen to keep his ever-growing team incentivised. As the winner of a number of prestigious team-building awards, he's hoping Red Balloon founder Naomi Simpson will have some suggestions.
What do you offer your staff as incentives to perform better?
Well, it's actually interesting because incentives is a word that I wouldn't use. For me, it's about celebrating success, and recognition is actually a different beast than incentive. So in fact, incentive is a very old way of thinking that's like a carrot and a stick. And there's a certain level of performance that will come with incentive, but for us, it's all about recognition. Did we achieve the results as a group? Did we achieve it as a team, as an individual? What are we celebrating? So recognition is about celebrating somebody's contribution. And it is about making people feel like they're going home as a winner.
Yes, look, that makes sense, and I suppose that would lead on to people having more ideas and wanting to take the business further. And do you get people that come to you and offer you ideas, and how do you handle those situations?
Well, people come with all sorts of ideas, and we've found that growth actually doesn't come from the idea alone, it comes from the execution of an idea. So, we're known for our innovation, and innovation comes from looking at what do we love to do and what do we loathe to do. And if we look at all the things we loathe and don't like doing, is there a process, a system, or some fabulous technology that we can invent to get rid of that process? Even the innovations that we've done in our product and our, particularly our distribution strategy, has all come from this basic core purpose of we're changing gifting in Australia forever. So are we where gifting takes place? I found myself in a Target store buying some gift cards for my nieces and nephews, and I go, I need to be there. It's why Red Balloon is in 3,000 gift outlets. But it all comes from that core sense of purpose. So our purpose drives our innovation. And so people might come to us with ideas. Our team will produce ideas, but is it aligned to the plan? We have a clear sense of where we're going. We have a painted picture document which talks about our 2012, so relatively short-term outlook, and we make sure that everything isn't aligned to that. So it's not the idea, it's the execution that actually makes the difference.
This technology building block is brought to you by Telstra Business.
As small business owners, we need a reliable, practical way to keep up with what's happening in the business world. Smarter Business Ideas, a quality new quarterly magazine and website from Telstra Business and ACP magazines, aims to do just that. Smarter Business Ideas is custom published by SCP Magazines and Telstra Business for small to medium business owners. This ensures that its focus is on the day-to-day practicalities of running and growing your type of business. Smarter Business Ideas focuses on business case studies that not only share the success stories of SME businesses, but emphasise the key ingredients and practical reasoning behind the stories. The team will keep you across developments in new technologies, business planning, sales techniques, and a host of other business topics. What's more, if you're a Telstra Business customer, you can receive a free copy of Smarter Business Ideas, either by email or post. So for jargon-free advice and solutions to help you excel in business, look out for Smarter Business Ideas.
To find out more about Smarter Business Ideas magazine, visit telstra.com/smarter. After the break, using customer feedback to boost business.
The first thing people shouldn't do when they get negative feedback is actually be defensive.
This competition is brought to you by Qantas. Qantas is celebrating small business with an amazing opportunity. Every week, one business could win $1,000 worth of Qantas flights to use for business travel. How do you enter? Easy. Go to qantas.com/SME and tell us in 25 words or less how Qantas can help manage your business travel. River Life and Tanga Tours owner John Sharp is meeting Boost Juice Bar's founder Janine Alice to find out her approach to ensuring good customer service.
It goes to the type of people you hire. If you have people that genuinely like people and genuinely interested in people, you're not going to have a problem. Most of your complaints and most of the things that go wrong will be people who either don't really have the care factor to actually get it right. So it's really just hiring the right people. And then the customer experience will come from those type of people. I think it's important that you always get feedback at the end of the trip, because that should be your mantra of how you actually improve. Along the journey is just be interesting and interested. You know, hear what they have to say. So you might have in your area a system where halfway through that instructor or leader has to go and check how everyone's going. Is there anything else we can do? Because quite often you'd be surprised that people don't like to say, oh look, I'm actually really uncomfortable or I'm really struggling. They suffer in silence. So maybe part of your system is that they have to do that halfway. So it's a bit of a combination of the right people, but then the right structure around them to get the benefit.
Look, another issue that we have is we don't get a lot of negative feedback. So when we do, sometimes the staff, they just really freak out. It's like they're really disappointed. And sometimes it's no more than the customer's expectation is completely different than the product we're delivering anyway. So I want to find the balance between having my staff caring when they do get negative feedback and also not having them freak out as a result.
The first thing people shouldn't do when they get negative feedback is actually be defensive, because the first thing they say is, that's not what happened, I was there. And in actual fact is seeing a negative feedback as a huge positive. Now, we have a system in Boost and Salsas where when people complain, within 24 hours we will reply. And because people, for whatever reason, it may be your fault, may not be your fault, but it doesn't matter. Their perception is that they had a negative experience with you. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. So for us, it is when that negative feedback comes in, we see it as a challenge. By the time we finish communicating with them, we're going to have them turn around and they're going to be huge raving fans. Don't care who's right or wrong, don't even care. So first thing you do is reply really quickly. We are really sorry you had a bad experience, because they did, or they wouldn't be complaining. Then you do, we'll fix it. So you go, sorry, we'll fix it, and then please let us know if it happens again, because your feedback's really valuable. Fixing it, be generous. Give them another trip for free. Give them and their partner another trip for free. It doesn't really matter. Yes, it might cost you a bit, but their raving fan feedback to other people be worth that 10 times. So I think the key thing is to your team is see it as a positive. Thank goodness they told you, because if not, they were going to tell 10 friends.
This business building block is brought to you by Westpac.
Finding and retaining good people can be a major challenge for many business owners. Coupled with a growing skill shortage, now more than ever before, business owners need to ensure they know how to attract, retain and motivate their people. At Westpac, in addition to our financial short courses, we also run a one-day course called Attracting and Retaining Champions. This short course will equip you with practical, easy-to-use tools, templates and checklists to help you find the right person for the job in terms of skills, experience and cultural fit, develop awareness of what it takes to be a best employer, understand what motivates people, especially different generations, and manage poor performers. The course is open to all business owners, with Westpac customers entitled to a discounted rate. So sign up today.
To find out more about Westpac's Attracting and Retaining Champions short course, go to westpac.com.au/businessbuilders. After the break, customer service and the importance of continually innovating to keep customers coming back.
An important part for us is around customer research and what customer expectations are.
This segment is brought to you by Qantas. John's meeting with Steve Limbrick from Qantas to get some tips from the big end of town on how they decide on what innovations to implement.
Steve, do you find you have an innovation process that comes from good ideas that have been brought forward from your customers?
We've probably got a whole range of processes that occur, and we've got a number of ways and streams in which we engage with our customers around that. And as my boss says, if you ask someone would they like free ice cream, generally they'll say yes. So it's then about digging a little bit deeper in relation to that. And part of our recent innovations have come from that digging deeper. And so part of the Qantas process has been around developing with external organisations some choice modelling research. So not only approaching Qantas customers, but other airline customers or people that haven't flown with us for a period of time, and sort of doing a more detailed testing of ideas that are coming through. So rather than just trying to give customers everything, what are some of the trade-offs that they're willing to make? Like any business, Qantas or River Life, you've got to ultimately want to be running a profitable business. So it's not about necessarily giving everything away, because ultimately you've got a bottom line that you need to manage. So the choice modelling is about a number of what-if type of scenarios. If we're able to provide this, would you as a customer see that as value? What are you looking for from an experience? What are the key things that you would focus on in relation to your travel experience as a business traveller, for instance?
Steve, the range of different customers we get, it's very, very difficult for us to identify the different customer needs. Is there anything you do?
Well, John, there's probably a range of things that Qantas has throughout its engagement process with customers. Part of what we have done is quite a detailed approach in relation to customer segmentation, which for the Qantas group is really important given the diversity of our group, from Jetstar, which is very much the price leader in relation to what it's delivering to the market and the cost-conscious type of traveller, through to the Qantas brand, which is really about the full-service premium offering and all of the deliverables that need to become through that. So the first part of it has been a segmentation process. Then it's been about part of the research programs, either through direct customer research or through choice modelling, to understand some of the trade-offs and what the customer experience is looking for. And that's led Qantas down the path of things such as our next generation check-in process, because the consistent feedback we've been getting, particularly for the business traveller, whether they're large corporates or small to medium enterprises, is speed and ease through the airport, making my experience as comfortable as you can, not queuing through security. Give me some time in the lounges where I can enjoy myself in the facilities and perhaps get a chance to prepare for meetings is much more important than standing in queues. So we've got a real desire to be in the best for business in the business market, whether that be for corporate entities or small to medium businesses or consultants travelling for business, and understanding what their needs and requirements are. So the innovation that's brought from a Qantas perspective is things like the enhancements that we've had to Qantas lounges and Qantas facilities, including meeting rooms, valet parking services to, again, streamline that type of airport experience to give people either more time doing work or more time at home, rather than that travel in the journey. So again, it's very much around a lot of the research piece is very important to us, but understanding your customer segments is absolutely crucial as well.
Oh, come on, John, you old slow coach. Get down here.
Whoa!
I think you've got a bit more class than me. That was fantastic fun. Now, how did you go with our experts? Did they give you a bit of a workout too?
They did actually. Built a lot of confidence in me. I now know how to move forward.
So what are you putting in place as a result of them?
Look, I think something that was really key to me is when you get customer feedback, it's really, really easy to turn a negative into a positive. It's just simply making the customer feel happy about your organisation.
They're two great ladies, aren't they?
Oh, they were fabulous.
And you had a lot of empathy with them.
I certainly did. I found that they grew quickly and they got their team on board, and that's encouraged me to make sure when I put staff on that we have staff that are willing to follow the vision and become part of the team.
Yeah. Well, you've got a great business. It's lovely to meet you. Good luck in the future. We'll keep in touch.
Thanks, David.
Now, if you want any more information on today's episode or any previous shows, just go to the website yahoo7.com.au/small business. You'll find heaps of extra tips that we couldn't jam in to today's program. While you're there, don't forget to register for the boot camp. If you want information on staff engagement or customer service, they're just two topics we'll be covering and a whole lot more. Register now. I'll see you next time. Also on the Business Builders website, you'll find a host of video tips on employee engagement from Red Balloon's Naomi Simpson. And don't forget to enter the Qantas competition to win $1,000 worth of flights. Simply go to yahoo7.com.au/small business and follow the links.